Have you ever found a $20 bill in an old winter coat? It's a great feeling, right? Well, what if I told you that every single year, millions of dollars in old utility deposits are completely forgotten by Louisiana residents? In fact, there's currently over $1 billion in unclaimed property waiting to be claimed right now. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unlock the vault on this hidden treasure, and I'm going to show you exactly how to claim cash that might rightfully belong to you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because with that staggering billion-dollar figure in mind, consider this localized impact. Literally 1 in 6 Louisiana residents has unclaimed property sitting in the state's safekeeping. Think about that success rate for a second. There is a highly realistic chance that you, a family member, or a friend has money just waiting to be claimed. And the absolute best part, recovering it is entirely possible, it's completely free, and it's a process you can initiate today.
So, here's our treasure map for today. Section 1, the 1-year dormancy rule. 2, finding your deposits. 3, the step-by-step claim process. 4, claiming for heirs. 5, state trust protection. And 6, maintaining records.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the 1-year dormancy rule. This is exactly why these deposits get left behind in the first place.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how fast the clock ticks on utility deposits compared to other assets. Under the Louisiana Uniform Unclaimed Property Act, a savings account gets 5 whole years of inactivity before escheating or transferring to the state. Traveler's checks, those get 15 years. But utility deposits, just 1 single year after your service is terminated. This incredibly short timeline really reflects how highly mobile we are as renters and consumers. We move, we forget to leave a forwarding address, and bam, 1 year later, that $100 or $150 deposit is shipped off to the state treasury.
But before your money makes its way to the state treasury, there's what's called a pre-escheatment phase. The utility company is actually legally required to try and give you your money back directly. When you disconnect service, they'll apply your initial security deposit to your final bill. If there's a credit left over, they must try to mail a refund check to your forwarding address. And here is a really fantastic detail. Some providers, like Clico Power, actually pay 5% interest credited monthly on these deposits. So if you don't receive a refund check within 30 days of terminating your service, you should immediately contact your provider's billing department.
Moving on to Section 2, finding your deposits. It's time to locate your specific funds.
This is where you get to play detective. The state of Louisiana operates a digital portal specifically for this, and you can access it for free at laycashclaim.org or unclaimedproperty.la.gov. You just type in your exact name or your business name. Now, because the database is massive and pulls up a lot of results, you'll definitely want to narrow down your query by inputting the specific city or zip code associated with where you lived when you had that active utility service. It takes just a few seconds to run the search and see if your name pops up on the list.
Section 3, the step-by-step claim process. Let's talk about the exact workflow you need to secure the bag.
Don't let the paperwork intimidate you. It's a very straightforward 4-step workflow, and it's basically the master key to unlocking your funds. Step 1. Once you find your property in the database, you literally just check the box next to it and click Continue to File Claim. Step 2. Keep a close eye on your inbox. You'll get an email outlining the exact documentation required for your specific claim. Step 3. Submit your evidence. You can easily upload your documents through their secure online portal, or if you prefer the old-school route, you can mail hard copies directly to P.O. Box 91010 in Baton Rouge. Step 4. Patience. The processing time can take up to 90 days depending on the volume of claims they're handling.
So the crucial point is getting Step 3 right, the evidence. The state isn't just going to hand over cash based on name similarity alone, right? You'll always need to provide a signed claim form, a valid photo ID, and your social security number. But here is the absolute key for utility deposits specifically. You must establish a physical connection to the historical real estate location listed on the claim. Since utility deposit is tied to a physical address, if you can't prove you live there using an old bill, a bank statement, a lease, or a deed, the state will deny your claim. Keeping old records is your master key here.
Which brings us to Section 4, claiming for heirs, navigating the legal hurdles of inherited claims.
This is often the metaphorical dragon of our treasure hunt. What happens if the person who paid the deposit has passed away? Are those funds just lost forever? Absolutely not. Under Louisiana civil law, Article 934, legal heirs technically acquire ownership of a decedent's property at the exact moment of death, so the money is legally yours right away, but you have to prove it to the state treasury before they'll actually release the funds to you.
To bridge that gap between being a rightful heir and actually possessing the funds, you have to present formal, court-recognized estate documentation. This generally means providing succession documents and a death certificate. If a succession was already closed years ago and you suddenly find an old utility deposit on Unclaimed.org, you might actually need to work with an estate attorney to reopen the succession or file a supplemental filing with the court. It's an extra step for sure, but when thousands of dollars of estate assets are sometimes found in these databases, it is well worth the effort.
And this brilliantly illustrates a vital difference in Louisiana law, the difference between custodial unclaimed property and true escheatment. When the state treasury holds your forgotten utility deposit, they're just a custodian. They hold it in perpetuity and it's claimable forever by you or your heirs. But under Civil Code Article 1096, if someone passes away with absolutely no valid will and 0 surviving legal heirs, their estate goes through formal escheatment. That means the estate is liquidated and permanently transferred to the state's Office of Debt Recovery, and it cannot be reclaimed later. Thankfully, most unclaimed property falls into the custodial category, waiting safely for you.
Section 5. State Trust Protection. Let's look at how the state responsibly manages this massive pool of money while you wait to claim it. Louisiana voters actually took brilliant action on this back in November 2020 by approving Constitutional Amendment 7. This created the Unclaimed Property Permanent Trust Fund, and this is a really big deal because it constitutionally mandates that all incoming unclaimed property revenue is deposited into this protected trust. It completely shields your consumer capital from any state budgetary deficits. Now, the state treasurer is allowed to invest a portion of it to generate revenue. They've even used it to fund infrastructure projects like I-49, but the core principle is guaranteed. If claims exceed receipts in a given year, the state must draw from the trust to pay you. Basically, your money is protected and immediately liquid the moment you step forward with a valid claim.
Section 6. Maintaining records. A few everyday best practices so you don't lose track of your money.
It really all comes down to some simple, actionable habits. First, whenever you move, aggressively update your forwarding address with every single utility provider and financial institution. Second, keep detailed records. Toss an old utility bill or lease into a file cabinet. That single piece of paper is exactly what you'll need to prove your historical address later on. And finally, when it comes to inherited money, consider executing formal matrimonial agreements under Louisiana civil law to declare separate property. Commingling inherited funds into joint household accounts without records is one of the most common sources of major legal headaches down the road.
So, take a moment to think about that. We all have a history of old apartments, past businesses, and forgotten accounts. With over $1 billion sitting in the Louisiana State Trust, securely shielded and waiting for its rightful owners, how much of your own history is waiting to pay you back right now? I highly encourage you to go to lakehashclaim.org today. Run a quick search for your name, your parents' names, and your grandparents' names. You have absolutely nothing to lose and potentially a whole lot of cash to gain.
Please remember that while this explainer is designed to be as accurate and helpful as possible, laws and procedures can definitely change over time. If you're dealing with complex estate issues, heirship claims, or reopening successions, you should definitely consult with a licensed legal professional in Louisiana for personalized advice. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. Now get out there, run those searches, and go claim your hidden treasure.